Minutes of the Iloilo 1 Electric Cooperative Incorporated 44th Annual General Membership Assembly and First State of the EC Address held on May 15, 2021 via Facebook Live. Present were Mr. Larry P. Nacionales, President, Mr. Salvador C. Cabaluna IV, Vice President, Mr. Tito T. Garcia, Secretary, Ms. Maria Sofia S. Padilla, Treasurer, Mr. Joselito N. Sapitanan, Member, Mr. Mariano D. Malones Jr., Member, Mr. Victorio Frenis Canlar, Member, Engineer Miguel A. Paguntalan Jr., General Manager, ex officio Member. Also present, Attorney Muriel T. Cilia, ILECO 1 Legal Counsel, MSHAC Federation Representatives, BAPA Federation Representatives, MCOO Representatives. Also in attendance were the 18,731 duly registered billed member consumers as of December 31, 2020. Call to order. The meeting was called to order by President Larry P. Nacionales at 2:50 in the afternoon. Determination of quorum. The reading of notice and proof of publication was made by the Secretary of the Board, Director Tito T. Garcia. 1. Announcements were made during the live guesting at Tribuna Sangbanwa program over Action Radio Iloilo last January 16, 2021, April 11, 2021, and May 9, 2021, and with Radio Kahilwayan Santa Barbara last May 5, 2021. The schedule of the 44th AGMA was also announced over the Bati Samaji program of ANT, Talking Point, Media Services, last May 9, 2021. 2. Letters were sent to the municipal mayors of the 15 towns of the coverage area. 3. Letters were also sent to the National Electrification Administration, Philippine Rural Electrification Association, EC Allied Organization, and other stakeholders. 4. Pre-registration was conducted starting February 15, 2021. Online registration started on April 15, 2021. 6. Multi-Sectoral Electrification Advisory Council members were informed during the per-town MSHAC meeting conducted by the ISD starting February 2021 and on May 12, 2021. 7. Leaflets containing the notice of the AGMA were attached to the bills of member consumers during the distribution of statement of accounts or the power bills for January and March 2021 billing periods. 8. Streamers were displayed in strategic and conspicuous places in the 15 towns of the area coverage. 9. Notices were posted in offices of ILECO 1 and in the different municipal halls, public markets, and plazas of the 15 municipalities of the coverage area. 10. Press release was issued to DYFM, Bombo Radio, DYOKI, Action Radio, DYRI, RMN Iloilo, and DYIS, Radio Ogyon, Santa Barbara on April 15, 2021 and May 10, 2021. 11. MCOs were notified via text blasts sent on April 16, 2021 and May 13, 2021. As of 12 noon, a total of 18,731 member consumers were duly registered, which was equivalent to 13.26% of the total billed members as of December 2020. Moreover, the total number of engagement, likes, comments, and shares of the co-op's Facebook live stream as of 12 noon was 3,000 and counting. The Secretary added that the representatives from the BAPA Federation, Multi-Sectoral Electrification Advisory Council, and the MCO organizations are also physically present to witness the event. The attendance met the minimum quorum requirement of at least 5% as stated in the bylaws. The Secretary then confirmed a quorum. Reading of the minutes of the 43rd Annual General Membership Assembly. Director Tito T. Garcia, Secretary of the Board, read the minutes of the 43rd Annual General Membership Assembly. Approval of the minutes of the 43rd Annual General Membership Assembly. Ms. Alma Tribo, MCOO, Chair of Bagumbayan Tigbawan, motioned for the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting as read. Duly seconded by Ms. Mirna Fonclara, BAPA Chairman of San Jose Miagao and MCIAC Chair of District 1. No correction and objection were raised. Thus, the minutes of the 43rd AGMA was approved as read. Business arising from the minutes of the previous meeting. No business arose from the minutes of the previous meeting. Presentation of reports of the 2019-2020 operation. A. General Manager's Report. At the outset, GM Paguntalan welcomed everyone to ILECO 1's 44th Annual General Membership Assembly. He remarked that today's AGMA marks the very first time that the co-op would hold a virtual meeting to adapt to the new normal brought about by this COVID-19 pandemic. The co-op adhered to one of the major mandates of the government and temporarily suspended several co-op activities and operations during the enhanced community quarantine, except for the continued delivery of safe and reliable electric power with our 24/7 lineman on standby. One of the activities that was suspended last year was the conduct of our annual General Membership Assembly. Despite the several challenges the co-op has faced this past year, the management remains steadfast and committed in providing quality, reliable, and cost-effective electric service to our member consumer owners. GM Paguntalan then rendered a report of the co-op's performance for the calendar year 2019-2020. For the year 2019, ILECO 1 has consistently attained the highest performance rating of AAA from the National Electrification Administration for the EAS's overall performance since 2013 to present. He informed everyone that the main objective of the key performance standard is to establish an overall performance assessment criterion to measure the EAS's financial, institutional, and technical performance, thus determining the creditworthiness, level of development, protection, empowerment, and satisfaction of member consumer owners. He further explained each of the following parameters of the KPS set by NEA. 1. Financial, 25%. Institutional governance, 30%. Technical, 20%. Level of electrification, 20%. And reportorial requirements, 5%. Based on the standard set by NEA, the co-op was able to comply and even surpass the 4 parameters out of 5 from 2019 to 2020, The actual score for 2019, as verified by NEA, is 95%, while the tentative results for 2020 operation, subject to NEA evaluation, is also projected at 95%. This score is equivalent to the highest rating given to electric cooperatives, which is AAA award for both years. GM Paguntalan remarked that the major highlight of the co-op's operation is the activities that bring the co-op closer to our consumers. In terms of sitio energization, the co-op was able to energize the remaining sitios that were covered with subsidies in 2019, namely Sitio Libot, Barangay Taro Tigbawan, Sitio Kibtan and Sitio Aniwangan, Barangay Kabangkalan Masin, Sitio Zone 3, Barangay Tagsing, Santa Barbara, Sitio Sorsogon, Barangay Dalusan, Maasin, Sitio Banog, Barangay Bugot, Maasin, Sitio Tuburan, Dagami, Maasin, Sitio Tigbawan, Trangka, Maasin, and Sitio Kanawilihan, Trangka, Maasin. ILECO 1 has also performed its commitment to support other ECs in time of need. The co-op joined the Power Restoration Rapid Deployment Task Force Kapatid by sending off the technical team to augment power restoration in typhoon-hit areas. In 2019, the co-op has deployed line personnel to augment Occidental Mindoro in Dacalan. In 2020, another team was deployed to Occidental and Oriental Mindoro and also in Catanduanes. Furthermore, because of this decade-long tradition of the electric cooperatives' bayanihan spirit, the month of August, starting this 2020, was designated to include the Lineman Appreciation Day to give due credits and celebrate the selfless commitment of linemen. As part of the co-op's public relation activities, the board and management have scheduled meetings in 2019 with the leadership of each municipality to discuss the co-op programs and listen to the recommendations and suggestions so the co-op can serve them better. After the ACQ in 2020, meetings were conducted in the municipalities of Tubungan, Tigbawan, San Miguel, Maasin, Gimbal, and San Joaquin to discuss the high billing issues in May 2020 due to estimated billing during the ACQ. Basic social distancing protocols were followed and all the meetings were conducted in an open space like the gymnasium in adherence to IATF rules. Moreover, information education campaign events were conducted in 2019 with the purpose to bring the co-op closer to the grassroots so that the member consumer owners will be more knowledgeable of the programs of the co-op and find ways how they can benefit from it. The activities include pre-membership orientation seminar, orientation of SEP beneficiaries, barangay assemblies, in the induction of MCO program of empowerment officers. In terms of the co-op performing its corporate social responsibility, GM Paguntalan enumerated the following major programs that the co-op has offered during ECQ period. 1. Pantawid Liwanag Program. To all residential consumers that consume 30 kilowatt hours and below for the month of March 2020, their bill was free for charge. This is a program launched in partnership with the National Electrification Administration, the Philippine Rural Electrification Cooperative Association, and the National Association of General Managers of Electric Cooperatives as part of the co-op's corporate social responsibility. There were a total of 36,274 recipients that benefited in this program, or equivalent to 4,693,293 pesos and 78 centavos in bill amount. Number 2, extension of due dates and suspension of disconnection. The co-op has suspended the disconnection of delinquent accounts from March 23 to October 15, 2020. This temporary suspension of disconnection was in effect for almost 7 months since the start of enhanced community quarantine. This making ILECO 1 as one of the electric cooperatives, if not the only one, who has implemented this extent of duration on suspension of disconnection and extension of due dates. Together with the extension of due dates, the late payment penalties and surcharges were also waived. The cooperative has extended the due dates of bills up to September 30, 2020 for bills falling due during the ECQ, March and April 2020 billing period, and even included the bills for May to July 2020, a total of 5 months extension in payment of our bills. 3. Installment payment. For the purpose of helping the consumer all over the country, the Energy Regulatory Commission released directives that allowed staggered payment of the bill for the month of March 2020 in 4 months, starting on May 2020. The COP, however, extended this further to allow staggered payments to also include the billing period of May 2020. 4. Suspension of bill guarantee deposit assessment. The assessment of bill guarantee deposit to disconnected account that are applying for a reconnection was also waived, and this suspension was extended until December 31, 2020. 5. Rate reductions and discounts. One of the rate reductions to the bill was the suspension of the rate collected by the government through the power sector. Asset and liabilities management are named as the feed-in tariff allowance rate that was for the renewable energy sector. The Energy Regulatory Commission temporarily suspended the collection of this rate of 0.0495 centavos per kilowatt hour to all consumers for the months of March and April as assistance due to the current pandemic. Also, in May 2020 billing period, the universal charge or the environmental charge of 0.0025 centavos that was also collected by the government through PISAM was indefinitely suspended as advised by the ERC. Furthermore, the total effective rate implemented during the ECQ has been decreasing since February 2020 billing up to June 2020 billing period on the average of 3.16 or at 0.3269 centavos per kilowatt hour per month. Moreover, the body was informed that the COP financial statement was audited by the Isla Lipana and Company, a member of the PwC network. The external auditor's opinion stated that the financial statement of ILECO 1 were presented fairly in all material respects. Lastly, Jim Paguntalan presented the awards the Co-op received in 2019 in light of its operation. One is the Hall of Famer Award for consistently exhibiting an exemplary performance as AAA Category EC for more than 5 years. 2. Paramount Achievement Award for an exemplary performance as AAA Category EC in the pursuit of total electrification and sustainable rural development. 3. Circle of Excellence Award for an exemplary performance as a AAA Category EC in the pursuit of total electrification and sustainable rural development in Region 6. 4. Strong Commitment to Brotherhood Award for the unwavering support and upholding the true spirit of bayanihan in helping the affected cooperatives and member consumer owners during the Typhoon Tisoy, Orsola, Quinta, Ruli, and Ulysses through the Power Restoration Rapid Deployment Task Force, Kapatid. 5. Extra Mile Award for implementing the Pantawid Liwanag program as well as other initiatives that are aimed to uplift the lives of the MCOs. 6. Constant Contributor Award for the continuous support to the goal of One Easy Network Foundation Incorporated in uplifting the lives of our dear brothers and sisters in the sector. 7. Limelight Award for being the front runner in the pursuit of total electrification and sustainable rural development. B is the President's Report. On behalf of the Board of Directors, President Larry Nacionales also rendered a report to the MCOs regarding the milestone of activities, meetings, resolutions promulgated, and policies instituted by the board. He emphasized that these accomplishments cannot be achieved without the support of the Board of Directors representing their constituents. They provided and gathered a lot of feedback in order to establish and improve policies and procedures for the operation of the co-op. He further acknowledged the General Manager and support the Technical Services Department in providing information in order to answer the needs of MCOs and stakeholders. President Nacionales informed the body of the number of meetings conducted and resolutions promulgated for 2019 to 2020 to it. For the regular meetings in 2019, there were 12, and in 2020, there were 12. Special meetings in 2019, 14, and 2020, 13. Committee meetings in 2019, there were 20, and 2020, there were 14. For the board resolutions, in 2019, there were 304, and 2020, 193. He remarked that the promulgation of resolutions and meetings produced positive results, wherein 80% of the resolutions were geared towards easy operation. In 2019, the strategic initiatives implemented are the following. For the systems and technological upgrading, one is the expansion of the read and bill system to the town of Santa Barbara in Cabanatuan. As of to date, it covers around 2,286 accounts. The co-op is currently planning to expand and cover other areas. 2. Upgrading of Santa Barbara substation to 30 MVA and double circuit lines. 3. Upgrading of Pabia and Cabanatuan substations to 30 MVA and 15 MVA respectively. These substations serve the towns of Pavia, San Miguel, Cabanatuan, and Maasin, including the Iloilo International Airport. Number 4, implementation of three-wire system. Operational control and efficiency. 1 is the implementation of employees' performance evaluation system. 2 is the transfer of the warehouse section from TSD to ISD. 3. Approval of investment policy and procedures. 4. Reduced area coverage per crew for them to easily respond to the call of MCOs. For the consumer welfare, 1 is the electronic registration during the AGMA. 2. Free haircuts to first 200 senior citizens during the May 18, 2019 AGMA. 3 is the adoption of minimum reconnection requirements. 4. Gift giving to indigents. ILECO 1 has imparted joy and laughter to the 50 beneficiaries of the Sisters of Charity of St. Anne in Barangay Igtubam, Yagao. Meanwhile, in 2020, the strategic initiatives implemented are the following. Systems and technological upgrading. First is the completion of 15 MVA gimbal substation located at Barangay Balantad, and it serves the towns of Gimbal, Igbaras, and Tubungan. Second is the completion of the 10 MVA Liganis substation located at Barangay Lapayon. It caters the municipality of Leganes, which is considered as an industrial zone. Third is the completion of the 10 MVA San Joaquin substation located at Purok 5. It serves the town of San Joaquin. Fourth, replacement of bare to insulated wires. As of July 31, 2020, a total of 34.64 kilometers lines was insulated. Operational control and efficiency. First is the adoption of the Code of Governance. The Code of Governance serves as guide to the Board of Directors, management, and staff about the roles and responsibility that focus on the satisfaction of MCOs. Second, business process review. Third, creation of an interim corporate planning office. The Corplan Group should look into the reduction of electricity and system loss, as well as focusing on how to improve the efficiency and collection. Fourth, approval of guidelines for blacklisting of manufacturers, suppliers, distributors, contractors, and consultants. Fifth is the designation of additional TW members to assist the bank in the procurement process in accordance to fields of expertise or specialization. Sixth is the online viewing of bank accounts. Seventh, approval of policy on cash receipts management and control procedures. On the consumer welfare, first is the COVID-19 response and assistance. Under this is the implementation of the Pantawid Liwanag program, extended due dates, distribution of rice, food packages, and hygiene kits to frontliners, cash donation for the automation project of WVMC COVID Laboratory. Second is the opening of the Kadiwa Market Outlet at Tigbawan Main Office in support of the Department of Agriculture Kadiwa Nikita at Ani program. ILECO 1 was the first to establish this program on October 9, 2020. As of December 2020, it has generated a total sale of 223,377 pesos. Third, implementation of Community Assistance Program. Fourth, feeding program at host barangay Namukon Tigbawan. President Nacionalis remarked that everyone should understand the challenges brought about by the COVID-19 and not remain complacent. He reminded that the management should think strategically and to see to it that the plans will correspond to the needs of the MCOs. Furthermore, he informed the body that the management has recently endorsed and approved by the board the restructuring of the co-op from 4 to 7 departments. In the process, this would give the co-op a lot of help and guidance once approved by NEA in order to expand the operation and answer the needs of MCOs. Lastly, President Nacionalis expressed his gratitude to the MCOs for the continued support. He also thanked the co-op's developing partners, the local government executives of the 15 municipalities and other agencies that are supportive of the operations of the cooperative. Unfinished business. There having no unfinished business from the previous meeting, the matter was dispensed with. New business. President Nacionalis remarked that the main agenda for today is the amendment to the Articles of Incorporation, renewal of cooperatives registration with the NEA. He further requested GM Paguntalan to present the proposal for amendment. GM Paguntalan informed the body that today's agenda is pursuant to NEA Memorandum Number 2018-048 regarding the renewal of Certificate of Incorporation, wherein concerned ISES were advised to file with the NEA their amended Articles of Incorporation, extending or renewing the terms of the cooperative for a period of not more than 50 years. Last May 16, 2015, during the 39th AGMA, the General Assembly has already decided for the cooperative to remain as a non-stock, non-profit cooperative under the NEA. However, the Articles of Incorporation was not duly amended during the time. President Nacionalis then asked for the pleasure of the body presented by GM Paguntalan, Mr. Orlando Taxagon, MSHAC member and MCO Chair of Zone 2, Tubungan, asked for clarification of term registration with NEA and franchise. Jem Paguntalan clarified that the franchise is different from registration. He informed the body that the co-op has a franchise of until August 22, 2053. In addition, Jem Paguntalan relayed the following benefits that the co-op can derive in its registration with NEA. Under it is ILECO 1 will remain as a non-stock, non-profit cooperative. NEA will be providing financial, institutional, and technical support to the co-op. Financial in terms of loans and subsidies from the government, such as the budget for the sitio electrification projects. Technical in terms of pertinent knowledge and distribution lines and facilities. Institutional in terms of organizational setup, skills training, and networking. As mentioned by President Nacionalis earlier, the organizational development was already presented to NEA for approval. The latter will be coming to ILECO 1 to assess the operations manual. As a non-stock non-profit organization, the members are not liable to the losses of the co-op if ever. Only 5 pesos membership fee is paid. In terms of operation, the cooperative is mandated to energize its area coverage whether viable or not. Moreover, Republic Act 10531 provides that all EASES, regardless of registration, shall be supervised by NEA. Benefits enjoyed by CDE-registered EASES, such as those concerning taxes, are also enjoyed by NEA-registered EASES. In view thereof, President Nacionalis sought for the approval of the amendment to the Articles of Incorporation, renewal of registration with NEA for another 50 years. Hence, as mandated by the cooperative's governing agency, President Nacionalis proclaimed that the motion of Mr. Roberto Caloocan, MSHAC Federation President, duly seconded by Mr. Orlando Tacsagon, to amend the Articles of Incorporation, renewal of registration with the NEA for another 50 years, is hereby approved. As such, the following resolution was passed. AGMA Resolution Number 2021-001. Resolution approving the amendment to the Articles of Incorporation, renewal of registration with the National Electrification Administration for another 50 years. Whereas, pursuant to NEA Memorandum Number 2018-048 regarding the renewal of Certificate of Incorporation, concerned EASES were advised to file with the NEA their amended Articles of Incorporation extending or renewing the terms of cooperative for a period of not more than 50 years. Whereas, on May 16, 2015, during the 39th AGMA, the General Assembly has already decided for the cooperative to remain as a non-stock, non-profit cooperative under the NEA. Whereas, the Articles of Incorporation was not duly amended during the time. Whereas, Jem Paguntalan relayed the following benefits that the co-op can derive in the registration with NEA. ILECO 1 will remain as a non-stock, non-profit cooperative. NEA will be providing financial, institutional, and technical support to the co-op. Financial in terms of loan and subsidies from the government, such as the budget for the sitio electrification program projects. Technical in terms of pertinent knowledge and distribution lines and facilities. Institutional in terms of organizational setup, skills training, and networking. As a non-stock non-profit organization, the members are not liable to the losses of the co-op if ever. Only 5 pesos membership fee is paid. In terms of operation, the cooperative is mandated to energize its area coverage whether viable or not. Republic Act 10531 provides that all EASES regarding of registration shall be supervised by NEA. Benefits enjoyed by CDA-registered EASES, such as those concerning taxes, are also enjoyed by NEA-registered EASES. Whereas, considering the foregoing, President Nacional sought for the approval of the amendments to the Article of Incorporation, renewal of registration with the NEA for another 50 years. Whereas, as mandated by the Cooperatives Governing Agency, the National Electrification Administration, Mr. Roberto Calocab motion, duly seconded by Mr. Orlando Taxagon for the approval of the amendments. Hence, the Assembly resolves, as it hereby resolved, to approve the amendment to the Articles of Incorporation, renewal of registration with the National Electrification Administration for another 50 years. Unanimously approved. Adjournment. There having no more matters to discuss, Mr. Custodio Tubonglupa, MCOO Chair of Balibagan, Igbaras, move. Duly seconded by Mr. Cornelio Elie, MSIAC Chair of District 3, to adjourn the meeting. The meeting was adjourned at 4:24 p.m. The event ended at 6:17 p.m. after the raffles. I hereby certify to the correctness of the foregoing minutes of the meeting. Tito T. Garcia, Secretary. Attested, Larry P. Nacionales, President. Salvador C. Cabaluna IV, Vice President. Maria Sofia Padilla, Treasurer. Joselito N. Sapitanan, Member. Mariano D. Malonis Jr., Member. Dr. Victorio Freni S. Iscanlar, Member. Engineer Miguel A. Paguntalan Jr., General Manager, ex officio member.